Hello, my name is Marcia Johnson and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Together with my grandnieces and nephew, Allie, Ashley, and Ryan, we are Marcia's Crafts. Today we're going to make this lovely band together card. Actually, we're going to make a slightly different version and I think easier version of the card. In this one, I actually stamped the flower on Whisper White and then stamped this part of the flower separately. I fussy cut them all out and put them on this birch background. Today we're going to use a masking technique, which I think is actually a lot simpler and it eliminates the fussy cutting. So those of you that don't like to fussy cut, you'll be happy with this. Okay, let's get going. What you will need for this card is the Band Together stamp set, the Birch background stamp set, the detailed bands framelets, and the only framelit you'll need is this little one to cut out the flower. If you don't have this framelit and you want to make this card and you want the flower to be popped up, you will have to fussy cut the flower, but that would be it. And for ink, we're going to need Memento Tuxedo Black because we will be coloring with the blends, and we will need some Sahara Sand. Okay, bring in our pieces. We will be stamping our envelope, the inside of our card, the front of our card, and we won't be stamping on that one. We'll stamp on this little bit also. Okay, first thing I want to stamp our flower, and that will be done in Memento Tuxedo Black. One of these will be the inside of the card and one will be the front. That'll be the front of the card. Let me bring in my stamp. I'm only going to use three stamps. We'll use the little leaf. We're going to use this one several times, and we're going to use the birch. I'll bring that in a moment. We're going to stamp right now with Memento Tuxedo Black. And remember, when you're using the linen pads as opposed to the sponge ones, that you have to not only pat it on, but you kind of have to rub it on too to get a good image. There's that. And we are going to put that on the front of our card with the flowers up towards the top left, kind of right about like this. And press and let it soak in a minute. Okay. Then we're going to do the flower one more time on this piece. Let's ink it up again. There we go. And then we'll do the inside of our card, and I want to put my flower down in this corner. So again, I'm just going to ink up the flower part of this image, and I'm just going to put that down in the corner. And then for our envelope, I'm going to, again, ink up just the flower, put it down in this corner. And now we're going to do a little bit of masking. I've previously cut out masks, and what I used was, I believe it's Nina K masking paper. You stamp on the paper, and then you just cut your images out. And I've already done that. So for the inside of the card and for the envelope, I decided I wanted a little bit of some leaves on there. So we're going to put our mask on. And when you cut a mask, cut a little bit on the inside of the line so that you don't get a halo. So we're going to take our Memento again, and we're going to take this leaf image. And I just want a little bit of leaf showing up here and a little bit over here. See? Perfect. We're going to do the same thing for the inside of our card. And we're also going to use our mask for the front of our card. As I said before, with the previous card, I stamped the flower image on a piece of white, cut it out, and then added it to my birch background. This time what we're going to do is we're going to add our birch background to the image I've already stamped. So we're going to go ahead and put all of this down. Okay, we've got some leaves here, and then one more flower here. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to ink up our background stamp, and for these I just actually leave them in the case. Just ink it up really well. You can use the Stamparatus for this too. That's really good, because then if you don't quite get it right, you can get a second shot at it. Okay, what I'm going to do with this is I am going to put my image onto the stamp. Try to keep it kind of straight. Then I'm going to take my piece of scrap paper and keeping one hand down all the time, I'm going to rub all over this. But make sure you keep one hand down so your paper doesn't move. Okay, let's pull it up and see what we got. There we have our background. And when we pull off our mask, okay, might as well keep this because we're going to be coloring with the blends. And don't forget, when you're doing an envelope, try to remember to do this first, because otherwise, if you're like me, you will forget and you'll be not happy if the blends go through onto the other side of your envelopes. Just put a piece of paper in there, computer paper, anything, printer paper, whatever you want to do. Okay, let's get started with our blend work. We're going to color this, this, and this. I think I'll start with the greens. Just kind of outline a bit. Not a whole bunch of shading or anything exciting on this. Now let's use our yellow, our Daffodil Delight. First the dark. I'm just going to outline the little parts in there. You don't have to do that on this big one because we're not going to see that part. It's going to be covered up by this little flower. Okay, and the way I really like to color my flowers is I kind of like to color in the light first and then add the dark and then go back with the light. So that's what we're going to do here. Add the light on this first row, maybe one more row. And we'll add the dark and blend it. And kind of go to the next row. I see a little bit of the green that I forgot. We'll take care of that in a minute. Okay, and then blend it in again. And let's take care of that little leaf that we have there. And then I think I got this one a little dark, so let me get a color lifter. And I'll pull some of that color out a little bit to give it a little bit more contrast. And we'll just put in some highlights. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing essentially with the rest of the images. So you can fast forward through this, Ryan. Okay, and for the big one, we will color in this and just the outline of that flower because it'll be covered up. Okay, that's it. And now it's time to assemble. We would have to cut this out with our little die here, but as usual, I've already done that. So here it is, and let's get going with the rest of our cards. So first, as usual, we're going to attach the inside with a little bit of glue. Okay, then we're going to add our Seaside Spray, I believe. As usual, all our dimensions and the materials required will be listed below. And if you would like to purchase any of these products, please feel free to do so at marciascrafts.stampinup.net. And then before we attach this layer, we're going to put some ribbon around the bottom. With this ribbon, I find the easiest way actually is to get some snail or something and just attach some down with this, and then we'll put some tape on the back, but just attach it down a little bit with this. And then make it go straight across and fold it behind. And we'll get some tape and tape down the edges. This material can be a little tough to tie a bow with because it is rather stiff. And if you wanted a small bow, it could be a little difficult. So I thought I'd try something different. I'm just going to take a piece of the material and lay it down. Take a piece of our linen thread and put it underneath. And I'm just going to tie it in a knot around both layers of that ribbon. Really scrunch it up. Then tie it again. And I really like that look. I think it's very cute. And then I decided that I wanted to add a triple bow. So I'm going to do that with a glue dot. I'm just going to scrunch it up in a little circle. Put it right in the middle there. And add my little triple bow. And I really like that look. Then we'll trim off the tails, and we'll go ahead and attach this layer to the front, putting a little extra glue where the ribbon is. Looks like my Seaside spray layer was a little off, but I'll fix that later. Anyway, you get the idea. And then we're going to take our flower and add some dimensionals to the back. I think 2 would be fine. Put that on top of the other flower, or you could make it off a little bit if you wanted to. And then to finish the card off, we're going to add some pearls, which I have colored with the Seaside Spray blends. I'll put one here, and maybe one. Okay, so there we have this card, and here's my previous card, so you can see which you like best. Like I said, this avoids fussy cutting. If you don't mind fussy cutting, this one is pretty easy also, and then you don't have to, well, you have to fussy cut the mask anyway, so I guess it doesn't really save you a lot of trouble unless you're going to make more than one where you can use the same mask. Anyway, I hope you liked this card. If you did, perhaps you could give us a thumbs up or even subscribe to our channel. Maybe share the video with a friend. And I guess that's about all for now. Hope you had a great day and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.